Welcome to using the virtual classroom tool in D2L. In this video, I will show you how to create a session, how to launch that session, how to share your screen. If you're looking for more information about the difference between a moderator and a presenter and the basic system requirements, please check out the guide. So let's dive in. To begin creating a virtual classroom session, please access your course and select More Tools, Virtual Classroom. To begin, you may end up seeing a next here. I've already used the virtual classroom, so I don't see it. If you do see that, please click next and go through the prompts that you see in front of you. For me, I'm going to go through and I'm going to select. You can see here that I've actually created some recordings already, but I'm going to go create a new session. So to create a new session or a new meeting, we're going to find that pink dot down here and we're going to click on that pink plus and select schedule a meeting. So give your meeting a title and let's fill in some information here. You can see that when you select date, it'll automatically prompt to the date that you're currently at. So if I wanted to select the 8th, that's great. And if I wanted to select a date in the future, I can select that as well. So in this example, I'm going to select today's date and I'm going to select OK. And if you wanted to meet now, you can do that, or you can have a meeting time. So if I select meeting time, what it'll do is it'll automatically default into whatever time you currently are at. So right now we are at 10:50, so that is what is showing on my screen. So pay attention to that because we do see some that'll create these very late at night and they won't pay attention to that it's AM or PM. So I'm going to select this one and I'm going to schedule this meeting, say in this example, for 11 o'clock. And then the meeting will not be able to start for the students until 11 a.m. So you see that I have 11. So now let's change this to 11 o'clock. And I am content. I don't want it to run in the PM, of course. So I'm going to say I want it at the AM. And that looks great. And I'm going to select now. So that's how you can go through and do the time. In this example, because I'm going to want to enter this session, I'm going to actually say now. As instructors, you can join 10 minutes early, which I would be able to do in this instance anyway. So then select how long do you want your meeting to run. So you get up to 240 minutes and you can make your selection there and then go through the options that you get. Automatically record, which means as soon as you join in, it's going to be recording. So I would say leave this off, and when you want to record that meeting and you're in that virtual classroom, then you can select record. You just have to remember to actually select it. I would say keep these automatically checked. Publish that recorded meeting means it's going to show up here after it's published. And then next is allow external participants. So if you have if you teach the same class but have 4 sections of it and you wanted to do one recording, what you could do is you must have this allow external participants and then you share that URL link that you'll get into that other course, because this session that you're creating here would only allow the students in this class to be able to access it. If you wanted students in, say, class B to be able to get to this recording, you have to do that allow external participants. Here is if you're going to invite your entire class, you can do that, and then every student gets that notification. If not, if you wanted to do a one-on-one meeting, then you would deselect this check mark here. So I'm going to select save, and it's just going to take a minute, and then it'll pop up over here. And now you see that that meeting has now been created. So here's our Thursday meeting. So let's take a look at what do the students see. If I select course home, and I go down here to the calendar, you can see that they did have my previous meeting, and they also get notified that there is this meeting here. So let's go back in to that virtual classroom. Now that we've created our session, let's go in and what options do we have? If you needed to edit it, you can edit that through here, but because it's live, we're going to be able to go right in and we're going to select launch. I'm using Chrome. What you may see if you're using a different browser may be a little different than what I see, but this is what I get prompted. So again, I'm going to select join, and now I'm going to go right into the virtual classroom. So no students are going to be in there yet, and I'm going to select, of course, microphone because you do want your students to be able to hear you. I'm going to select microphone. I get a pop-up, click allow, and then I get a prompt in my ear because I'm wearing earphones saying I am the only person in this conference, which is fine. So over on the left, you get to see the panel, which has your participants, and you will start to see your participants once they start to join. You can have a public chat. So if your students wanted to type out messages, they could do that as well. In the polling, you can ask a question. Hey, students, would you like to have pizza for lunch? And you could select that here. The students could vote yes or no on that option. And you can even select and create breakout rooms. You can have up to 8 breakout rooms, and however many duration in minutes you can go in there. And you can even randomly assign. I'm going to select cancel, and even there's closed captioning. So over here on the right, you get to see my bandwidth speed. So right now I'm in as green, which is good. Sometimes you will see red and you will see orange. I don't use Wi-Fi, so probably that's why mine is showing as good. You'll have a little bit more options here if you select those 3 little dots. And over on this side here, you can even use some tools such as annotation. Next, let's show you some different options you have for adding in a screen or a PowerPoint presentation. To share a screen, you have some options. Do you want to bring that PowerPoint right in this area here, or do you want to share a screen? I prefer to share a screen, but I'm going to give you the 2 options that you do have. If I select presentation, and I select browse, and say for example I bring up this one and I select open, it says to be uploaded. I'm going to select upload, it's going to convert, and it's now going to put this information into that panel that you see here. So it's processing, and now you get to see it. Even if I come back here and I select make full screen, it is pretty tiny. So I'm going to leave that here, and I'm going to show you a different way that I would do it. So in order to share those screens, I prefer to share my desktop. So when I'm going to do that, I'm going to select share my screen, and then I get the 2 options here. Do I want to share screen 1, which is this laptop screen in front of me? And this screen that you see over here is my second monitor. I don't want to share my second monitor, but what I am going to do is I'm going to take the Bongo environment and I'm going to drag it over to this screen, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my desktop and I'm going to use that PowerPoint here. I prefer to share my desktop always. So I'm going to show you what it's going to look like. I'm going to select screen 1 and I'm going to select share. So you see it has this, I always call it the, when you're standing in front of a mirror, holding a mirror, facing it, and it kind of looks like a deep tunnel, and that's okay. So this is what the students would see right away. But if I select here, now you seeing and viewing my virtual classroom, if I go back into here, this is what you would see anytime that I click anything on my screen. This is what the students would see in the virtual classroom. So it gets a lot bigger page that they do get to see. Unfortunately, you don't get to see that here because I am sharing my screen. But the screen size that you do see is much, much larger. And that's just my preference here. So now we're in as a student, we're in here as Spider-Man, and Spider-Man needs to go and check the recorded session. So what are some options? Students can come in and they can select more tools and go directly to that virtual classroom. But you see here as Spider-Man, he's going to get a prompt. So are your students going to feel comfortable enough to go yes here and then continue through to get that whole view? So now you get to see that there was meetings. He can launch, he can preview, he can download. Here he can launch that active meeting, he can preview, and he can get in and even download it. Students are probably not going to know to always come in here. So let's go through the better option for having these recorded sessions in for your students to view just in case they've missed them. So, in order to get those sessions into your content, access your content, and in your module area, maybe you even wanted to create a sub module area. So, I'm going to show you some ways to do this. You can select Add Existing Activity and select Virtual Classroom. And here will be the list of your class meetings. So, here is today's date, and I can select that in here. If you're going to use the meeting where you're going to copy that external link, right? And then you wanted to paste it into another course, what you can do is go new and go create a link and post in that URL here. You can even have that in there for your students. So there's just some ways you can add in that content to have your students watch those recordings. And that's all we have for our virtual classroom session. Again, please be sure to check out the guide for more information. Thanks for watching.